The events of the past several weeks in the Popocatépetl volcano have been so dramatic that I stopped actually talking and just let you hear what's going on. Now, I think this is the time probably to talk. And as you can see, the Godzilla is rising from the volcano. The volcano has a huge ash cloud rising above the cloud deck. It's already 5.5 kilometer volcano on its top. Then several kilometers on top of it, this is the result. A Godzilla rising from the white clouds above the volcano, above the Mexico. As you can see, this looks very similar to what we know about the Godzilla. I will show you a few snippets of the Godzilla, how they look, and then you can compare it for yourself. That's practically what it is. And then listen to this eruption. It's almost like a nuclear blast, as you saw. And these ash clouds have been doing, Popocatépetl has been doing them every day, probably 5, 6, up to 10 times a day. And the result is that now in Mexico, we have a situation that the authorities are now thinking about the evacuation routes, what to plan for, and how to actually evacuate in the case that there is a imminent eruption, which is big enough to block the roads and access for the exits. And people actually are now being preparing for this. The authorities are trying to convince people. This is an ash cloud. This is a ash which is very sharp. If you breathe it, it actually damages and bruises your lungs or any surface that they come in contact with. And the result is this beautiful volcano, which in one way or another looks like Godzilla or a calm man or old man rising from this volcano. Our imagination goes wild.